remember when we were strong. Back in the days before King Tenebrae and his royal guard, and the people of Amosran took up their own arms for fun and profit. Before all that, there was just us, the Viridian Outriders. We kept the roads and trails safe and secure, with homes and forts scattered about and locales civilized and not. Time passed, and we have been replaced. And yet, I hear the rumblings and murmurs of the roads being less safe than they had been. Monsters sniffing around in smaller towns and magic acting oddly. Who knows? Maybe we'll be needed again. Hello, and welcome back to Another Path. My name is Chase, and I remain your GM. Today, we see the events of our last two regular episodes, but through the eyes of one Cecil Styles. Thank you to our backers, Veronica, Icetier, and Joel for their support. If you like what you hear, consider donating to us at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, and maybe even consider checking out some of the other shows on the network. But with that, sit back, relax, and enjoy your trip down Another Path.
The first of its kind of the horror genre, Pikmin. And my God, that brought up some memories, and I desperately want to replay these games, but I also have no desire to touch them ever again.
What was it? I picked up, I think it was Pikmin 3 that they re-released for the Switch a while ago.
Very different game.
Very different game. They also did just re-release, I believe, Pikmin 1 and 2 HD collection on Switch.
Oh, nice. I might have to look at that, because 4 is coming out soon.
Yeah, and that's why. Like, they announced, like, and this is how I wish every video game launch would go. They had a Nintendo Direct, and they said, hey, we are remastering Pikmin 1 and 2. And by we are doing it, I mean we have done it. It's on the store now.
Yes, you can get it right this second.
No hype. No, like, ooh, we're going to wait 6 months and release a bunch of trailers. No. You want this video game. Here's the video game. Go play the video game. That's how I want every video game release to work. I don't want a hype cycle. It's not fun. I am 35 goddamn. I am halfway to 70.
Sure are.
I do not need any of this hype. I lived through the console wars.
Yes.
I don't need to do that
come
anymore.
Out the other side, bloody beaten.
Barely come out the other side. But here
and using
we are.
PCs now.
Here I stand. So just give me the fucking video game. Todd.
Can you / will you be able to, I don't know, play Pikmin on your Steam Deck?
Yes and no.
Port?
Because the emulator game on Steam Deck is actually apparently really, really good. I haven't messed around with it myself. I have an embarrassingly large Steam library, particularly because I was like real on the Humble Bundle stuff for a long time.
Sure.
So I just bought all of those. So I have so many games on my Steam Deck, and I also barely restrain myself during Steam sales.
Which is happening now.
Presently, as we
this
are recording.
This episode, not sponsored by Steam.
We can be bought.
We can be. It would be...
Gabe? Hey, Gabe? Gabe Newell. We can be bought.
The number would not be gigantic.
It really wouldn't be. It would be so small compared to Steam's budget.
Yeah, sure would.
When I was a junior in college, so 2009... we actually I was the treasurer of the Computer Art Club, and we brought out a former BGSU student who was also an animator for Valve to do a talk. Yeah. And according to him, so when you work at Valve, you pretty much do every job. Like, nobody has a department. When you walk in that day, you're deciding what you're interested in working on. So this guy had full access to pretty much everything. And what he told us is that Steam never had to release another game again. Even with their full video game like creation team, they would still be able to pay everybody exactly what they were making into perpetuity. Most of their money comes from running the store.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Especially because they don't release games anymore. Ooh, I said it.
They just get a percentage. It's basically what Apple does with their iPhone.
Exactly. The money isn't in the actual product. It's in the install base.
Yep. And it has been working for them.
It has.
Pretty well.
Yeah.
Pretty well. Even Game Pass can't get me off Steam. Nope. It tries.
It does.
It tries. But Steam is...
And look, day one
Steam.
Starfield. That's not nothing.
That's not nothing. I recently replaced my old dying television with a newer television that I was not sure how good it was going to be. So I did have to test out the graphics.
Naturally.
Which means I am playing the remastered Witcher 3. This is my first replay.
Since JJ was born.
Yeah, so because I played the DLCs separately. So I've played The Witcher all this time, but I haven't started over. This game is dark.
Yeah.
And it doesn't get better. And I can't stop.
I would argue that the Bloody Baron quest, or whatever his title is the darkest of the quest lines. Like everything with the Loverkin.
Fair.
That's pretty fucking grim.
It's pretty dark. It's pretty dark. All the witch stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Triad of Witches, yeah. Because like you get to Blood and Wine, you're just having a good time with some vampires and some wine in the countryside.
Blood and Wine is so good.
It could be its own game.
The fact that they released it as like a $20 DLC and then just included it, like there is a reason people kept giving CD Projekt Red the benefit of the doubt when it came to Cyberpunk.
Sure did.
And it's because they did so right in Witcher 3. True to Luca's word, you do not take the traditional Outrider method, which is having maybe one or two people on the road and then everybody going covertly.
Thank you, Luca.
Yeah. And instead, you are all traveling loud and proud on the road. It should only take about a week or so to get back home. It's early morning of day 3. The smell of last night's campfire is still hanging heavy in the air. You are heading down the road. I imagine Cecil, with his age and station, is probably allowed a horse for himself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, Cecil is riding or alternating between riding and in the back of the cart that is the most stable to allow for writing as needed. Continuing to scribe the next chapters of the life and times of Bearing, a true telling. A book which will change every time it's mentioned.
Absolutely.
But then also taking time to make sure that Katie is good, but also to make sure Katie actually thinks through all the things that we did and had to deal with and she dealt with.
Sure. Katie has taken your horse over for a little while and you're sitting on the back of one of the carts and you're kind of riding along. All right. I mean, it went pretty well, right?
Yes, it did. It went fairly well. There's some curveballs thrown in there for good measure, but that's normal. And no one died, which is sometimes not normal. And we only broke things that could be fixed, which is nice overall. Big win.
Right?
Big win. Got a new donor for the Outriders, more support with the aristocracy there. So a win all the way around.
Okay.
And, it was a close win, but it was a win.
Okay. Cool.
Did you learn anything, Katie?
I mean, I would have learned more if I had been able to go to that last little bit.
You would be dead now.
Oh, come on.
Cecil puts their quill down and stares her down. Katie, you would not be riding here now.
I need you to roll me an intimidation check.
15.
Okay, cool. You do not pass the threshold where you're actually being mean. She sits up a little bit more in the saddle. Was it that bad?
Yes. Yes, it was.
All right.
If Mr. Yakov was not there, it would have gone very, very poorly for us.
Yeah, fair enough. All right.
You done good, kid. You did good. You did everything we asked you to do.
All right.
For first job, it's not bad. And that's just the first one. There'll be more.
Okay.
But I do believe there's a tea shop waiting for us.
Oh, assuming Eve hasn't burnt it down. And she smiles a little bit.
Well, I would not be surprised. You know, you teenagers and your hooliganisms.
Hooliganisms?
It's a great word. It should be used more often.
I have not once hooliganized.
You have not been known to hooliganize amongst the night.
I am not one to partake in the hooliganation, and I do not appreciate being painted with such a broad brush. I would figure that an individual of your vintage would know better than to do something like that.
But if you given the chance to do some hooligizing, to hoolinize or not to hoolinize,
that is the question.
Yes. It is a dumb question, but it is a question.
Technically, there is a question mark at the end of it.
Sometimes you need to hooliganize a bit. It's important to live, just not at the expense of the tea shop.
Well, yes, of course. Tea first.
Tea first.
As the two of you are talking, Dieter actually approaches. He is on foot, being the youngest of the new squires, but he approaches the two of you. He's like, hey, Cecil, can I talk to you for a second?
Of course, Dieter. I guess we did kind of get you into this. Absolutely. Chase, can you give me just a visual description of Dieter?
Sure. Yeah, Dieter is an elf. He's in that weird kind of middle age where he could either be 20 or like 200. Tall, got kind of like a mohawk of like blonde hair that is pulled back.
Hell yeah.
Very much the kind of haircut that you can get when you're the only person who can do a very specific kind of job.
Hell yeah.
Tall, like 6.5 feet tall, super lanky. Keeping up with the carts and whatnot is not difficult for him because he's just all legs. All legs, all arms, very little torso going on there.
So this is just college Zach Robb with a haircut?
Yeah, a little bit.
Right,
I
cool.
barely knew Zach Robb in college, but yeah, no, that's about the size of it.
Yeah, that tracks. Okay, cool. It's Matt Smith with a mohawk.
Yes.
All right, cool. We have gone a long way for the word Targaryen to be said, but I thank you for your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Katie, noticing the tenor of the conversation kind of shifting away, rides up ahead and joins a couple of the other slightly more seasoned individuals, at least more seasoned than Dieter. Dieter pulls himself up onto the back of the cart and looks over at you, and he's like, so, what's next?
That's a great question, Dieter. Welcome aboard. I'm sure you're getting sick of people telling you that, but we don't get new folk, but so often.
Yeah, I've gathered.
Yeah. So we'll get back to Bering. Have you ever been to Bering?
Let's find out. Once, on my way in. I'm actually originally from Mosrin.
Oh, okay.
And I immigrated up probably about 20 or so years ago and stopped on through. Did some like blacksmithing work up in the seat, and while I was kind of honing what I was doing, and one thing led to another.
Sure. So we're going back to Bering. We'll unpack and everything, and then I'm not sure how quickly Luca is thinking of sending us all back up to the dig site, but that's I'm assuming is where we'll go. Lucas got some plans for that, and hopefully some more support and resources. But that is that is our current calling, because that is an existential threat to all of us. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, no, I've been kind of picking up bits and pieces of that as we've been going along, and I'm down. I'm good to help however needs to be done. It's just not where I thought I was gonna be like 48 hours ago, you know?
You know what, Dieter? I've felt that a few times in my life. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Life comes at you fast.
I've been hearing that a lot too.
Probably good to get you out of that park, honestly.
For sure.
Amount of your talents are going to get stuck.
Roll me a perception check.
Perception. That's going to be a natural 1, my guy.
Excellent. What is distracting you in this moment?
Cecil is still thinking about not even the park, but not just the park, but all of the fayness and other dimensionality of it all, including Yakov and the unsolved mysteries. And Cecil can't really turn their brain off from that, but it was also the first time in, I don't know, decades that some of these older memories are coming up, and you know, Cecil thought that he had figured out what life was going to be, and he was perfectly content. And then nearly dying changes you a little bit.
Every single time.
Sorry, Dita, what was that? Sorry.
Oh, well, I was just trying to figure out, like, what, you know, I've picked up bits and pieces of, as far as, like, what this, let me kind of sniff the air a little bit, what this city it is that you found.
Oh, we've no idea. We have no idea. We know a lot of things that it's not. We know, and Cecil just will monologue at Dieter and get increasingly more historical and technical until Dieter's eyes glaze over a little bit. But is clearly in overshare mode. You know, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this, it's not this. So we don't know what it is. And then there's also these approximations, is what we're calling them. Terrifying.
He's smelling the air again. You smell smoke?
Katie, are you having popcorn? Harper, are we having popcorn?
Like, you twist your head around the wagon and you see that Harper is actually kind of leading the pack a little bit with Luca, and the two of them seem to be very much in conversation. Luca's got his tough dad face on, and you have a feeling that there might be a conversation about a certain interaction happening.
Right.
As you see that, you also see something else. As the caravan rounds a bend of trees, smoke. A pillar of smoke coming from down the road. Roll me a history check.
There we go. 21.
With a 21, you know that the nearest town, which this appears to be coming from, is a small city called Lutome. Confirming your suspicions, Lucas' face is suddenly set in stone as he turns to the gathered crew. That's Lutome. Outriders, move! You see Harper buzzes off down the road, kicking Ignis into high gear, and everybody else goes into effectively battle stations.
Katie!
Yep, coming. And she scooches back on the horse and extends a hand down, pulling you up so the two of you can ride alongside, assuming that is what you were going for.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
In that moment, as you leave the back of the cart, you see that Bailey takes a running leap into the back of the cart and begins to pore over his own spellbook.
All right. Let's see what we need to do.
Dieter's eyes go wide, and he just kind of hangs on to the cart, just sitting on the back there, just bracing himself, because he doesn't have a horse, and it is now officially moving too fast for him to be able to keep up.
I just kind of give him a wave on the way, like, we'll deal with it. Get your crossbow.
He nods and begins to, get himself prepared.
Listen to Bailey. He's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Got it. Hey!
I've called you worse.
About 30 minutes later, you arrive at the base of the smoke. Lutholm is known for being a lovely little town, well known for instrument craft. Or at least it was. Burnt and destroyed buildings line rubble-strewn streets. The main drag leading to what was once the town hall now stands a precarious, smoldering husk. Luca wheels around on his horse and shouts, "Stewards, look for survivors. Styles, take point. Knights, scout a perimeter. Take the unclassed with you, and I will keep point. Crafters, stabilize that town hall so we can use it as a base camp. Talk, you've got point. Bailey, go with them for coverage. Survivors are always priority. Clues second, property third. Move."
Aye, aye, Captain. Right, stewards, let's go.
It's a small crew that you have with you. You've got 10 across stewards and scribes. And you also have Katie with you as well.
Right, fan out. Let's go to town hall first, home second. Let's go.
Town hall is being covered by Harper and her crew.
Okay.
So you've got the rest of the town to investigate.
Right. Let's pair off. 2 to a home. Nobody by themselves. We don't know what's still here. Go through the homes quickly.
Hey, you got it.
Katie,
Yeah.
I want to go investigate the guitar factory.
Okay. Absolutely. Yeah.
There has to be one.
Are you looking for specifically guitars or stringed instruments in general?
Stringed instruments in general. I was trying to figure out like a Stratocaster joke.
Yeah. No, I was there with you.
Yeah.
You go to Loot Center.
Yeah, we're going to investigate Loot Center.
You can see the sign hanging by one chain, and it is largely engulfed in flames. And you go to open the door, and it basically just kind of like disintegrates in your hand.
Fun.
Fire has ripped through this place, or at least as far as you can tell, but you are in the building.
I mean, just looking around, like, are fires still going? Like, this happened hours ago, or this happened days ago?
Hours.
Okay.
Hours. Probably sometime within the last 12, certainly no longer than 24.
Okay.
But it is hard to tell.
All right, we'll look through this, and then this building, and then we'll go see what else there is to search through.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Do you want me to? Do you have something for Katie, or should I just?
Go ahead and roll at advantage because she is basically giving you the help action in all this.
Okay, cool. That works great. Investigation. 17.
With a 17, what you realize is they must have attacked pretty late last night while you were all camped down. And you were in some pretty thick woods, so it's not shocking that you didn't see, this column of smoke up until pretty recently. The reason you're deducing that is because there are no bodies in here. You saw bodies as you were going through the streets, and you did what you could to... Actually, here's the real question. Did you try and keep Katie's attention on you as you were going through, or did you kind of let her see the carnage?
Oh, no, she gets to see the carnage.
Okay.
I would have said something on the way, like to try to prepare her a little bit, but this is part of going.
Yep.
This is part of this whole thing.
Good and the bad.
Yeah.
Protect her from what you can. Can't protect her from this, so she's getting it.
Also, I did bury a body in the basement.
You
She was
did
pretty.
Sweeney Todd a man.
I did Sweeney Todd a man, and she was kind of cool with it. So
Yeah, like she thought that was pretty metal. This is different.
this is different.
This is civilians. There are no bodies in here, which means this location was closed.
Okay, there's no one here. So, Katie, this must have happened last night after they closed.
Yeah.
Nothing looks immediately in danger, but this would be the place people would want some things saved. Is there anything that I can kind of see to do to immediately think maybe this building can get shorn up and saved, or
This building so far actually looks among the in better condition. The best is Town Hall, which Harper and her crew are currently trying to rectify. Most of the rest of the town is kind of in cinder.
I want to make some kind of check to see if it seems magical or regular fire. Does that make sense?
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Well, that's good. That's good. That is +5, 22.
Cool. With a 22, there is definitely some magic hanging around this. Do you have Detect Magic as a spell?
I do not have Detect Magic.
If you spend a sorcery point, I will give you more information.
Sure. I'll spend that sorcery point, and standing in the middle of the fiery carnage, Cecil takes a moment and centers themselves, and in trying to deduce the origins of the fire, whether it's magical or a torch naturally occurring, time kind of skips back a little bit as some of this clock energy and time magic gives them just that little bit of extra gumption.
Absolutely. That time energy is kind of flowing, and you're like, you pull that scent in, and you feel there is an infernal energy about it.
Oh boy.
Which
That
outside of working with Arabin, you really don't get a lot of.
Katie, nothing else here. Let's go. Let's see if we can stabilize anyone. I don't know if we're going to find more survivors. Looks like the town hall's covered. More houses. We make it out to the streets. Is there? I sent the rest of the group out. Obviously, there's people in the streets and whatever. Are we talking about the screams of the townsfolk filling the air, or are we talking about silence?
It is very quiet, except for the work of the Outriders. But at that, as you are listening for it, you actually hear from one of your Outriders, a dragonborn by the name of Arnold Barnbury.
God damn it. That's very good.
Thank you. Shouts from a couple houses down the road. Hey, boss! Hey, boss! There's somebody trapped under here. I need some help.
All right, let's go, Katie. Let's see if we can pick this up.
Right. The two of you make your way down the road. Arnold is there. He is this kind of hulking blue dragonborn that is one of your scribes.
Hey, Arnold.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Well, there's this, I think there's a basement under here, and I'm hearing something, and I don't know what it is. It's just like whimpering. I don't know.
Right. Well, let's see if we can get this up. It looks like the house is falling down over the basement.
Yep.
Right. Well, let's see if we can move anything aside. Let's Arnold, you've got some muscles there. Let's see if we can move that timber and get what's inside out. Katie, other side there. No, not the burning. There you go. There you go. All right. I'm seeing if I have magic that I can bullshit with. I can disguise myself to have muscles. These are not the kind of fires that Cecil usually has to put out. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
We're just all going to kind of move and lift and see if we can reach the handle to pull up on the basement door there.
Barring any other magic bullshittery, I need a strength check, and I will be making one for both Arnold and Katie.
the one thing Cecil does know to do is as they go to reach down to try to, grab the metal or to move the part of the house that's fallen over the door, if you'll allow this bullshittery, Cecil just continually casts frostbite out of their hands.
Sure.
On whatever they're touching.
Yeah.
So that it's easier to move and lift.
Is that a cantrip?
It's a cantrip.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's described as numbing frost.
That's exactly what you're looking for right now.
All right, let's see how this goes. That's going to be a strength of 14.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad. And what I will do, so what I was looking for was a 15. However, the negative to missing that by less than 5 was taking some damage. I'm going to go ahead and mitigate that damage because you have the good thinking with the...
there you go. Makes sense.
With the frostbite. Yeah. However, who didn't have that was both Katie and Arnold, both of which also biffed pretty badly. So what happens is the three of you lift this beam off of the cellar door and kind of heave it aside, and both of them are slapping their palms against their chest, like trying to cool them off. You see that Arnold's aren't too bad, what with the scales. Katie's hands look rough.
Oh,
ow, son of a fuck. Ow, I'm gonna go see someone about this. I'll be back. I'll be back.
You're fine. Go. It's fine. All right. Hey, Arnold.
Yeah.
Out my back?
Of course.
All right. Get to the door, keep my hands cold, and toss it open.
Roll me a d20. Flat.
7.
You see a dire situation. As you descend, there are 2 figures that are being kept apart by rubble. At the far back of the basement, beyond more rubble, there is a smaller figure kind of cowering towards the back. On your side of the rubble, ignoring you entirely, is a red-clad figure that looks in bad shape as well. Completely bald. Looks to be some kind of a humanoid, probably about 6 feet tall, squared up, sword in one hand, fire in the other.
Do I recognize the uniform?
Not at all.
Not at all. Okay. Is the small figure on the other side a child or a smaller race?
Perception at disadvantage.
All right. 13.
That's a kid.
That's a kid. Cool.
Probably young teenager, 4 or 5 years younger than Katie.
And this guy right in front of me looks rough?
Yeah, it looks like this guy caught the brunt of the house falling in. But you're making some conjecture at that point.
All right. Is anything... I know I'm asking a lot of questions in this moment, but is it on fire down here, or is there just rubble in the way?
Rubble.
Okay. But it's not, immediately falling?
Correct, as far as you can tell.
Okay.
That's a crafter question, and they're all doing other things.
They're all doing other things. Okay, so it's not like the room's on fire. The standoff is the problem. Okay.
Correct.
I'm going to... at the robed figure shout, "Outriders, stand down, get out," and cast magic.
Okay. I'm going to say not robed, leathers. Dyed red leathers.
Got it. Okay. I'm still going to do that.
Good. They all clear, and at you shouting like that, that causes this figure to turn. Eyes are red, like bloodshot red.
Like Arabin?
No.
Okay.
Arabin's eyes, they glow red. That is absolutely magic. This is like bloodshot.
Okay. Well, it's about to be more bloodshot.
Yep.
I'm going to cast Ray of Sickness. 20 to hit.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Con save, please.
That's a 12.
Fail. 9 points of poison damage, and it is poisoned until the end of my next turn.
Excellent. All right, that means he is going to roll at disadvantage on his attack.
Sure is.
And as he wheels around, and his first attack is with his sword. That is going to be a 21 to hit.
Oh, for sure.
Is going to swing down with a terrible blade for 16.
Shit. Okay.
Second attack is only going to be a 10.
Hits.
Oof.
Cecil AC is 10.
Gotcha. That one with the fire is only going to be a 5.
Okay. That is not great. Cecil looks really rough after that.
What are you doing?
I'm going to shout back, "Hey, Arnold, are you going to... Ow. Ow. Back up."
Real quick, let me check. You said to get back. Hold on.
I said to get back up, you idiot. Get down here.
I'm looking up Dragonborn breath weapons because I haven't had to use that in a while.
That's fair.
Actually, no, I'll give you first crack at this. Go ahead, and what are you doing?
I can't... This is a small space, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I can't, like, work around to get to the kid or anything.
It would be tricky if you could. If you've got bullshit, I'm willing to play.
I will cast Wither and Bloom at 3rd level. So the very bad Withering Clock appears beneath me and this dude who is having... So said dude needs to make a con save.
Okay.
I'm going to upcast it to 3rd level.
That is a 10, which is going to fail.
Yeah, that's going to fail. So that's going to be... Ooh, good roll. 17 points of necrotic damage.
How do you want to do this?
Well, I'm going to heal first.
Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
how I want to do this. So
That's fair.
I heal 8. The way this works, it's necrotic damage, withering in a space. So I would like the baddie to not be dead, but be incapacitated.
Okay.
In case this is a we need to question this guy situation. Mm-hmm. So as this thing hits the floor dying, I'd like to make a medicine check.
Okay.
I mean, I know how to stabilize from this, I'd imagine.
Sure.
Plus, I might need it for my tea garden.
Go ahead and roll a medicine check.
I would like him to not be able to hurt anyone, but still be useful.
Uh-huh.
Natural 20.
You... Trying to think of how this is going to work.
Yeah, because it's necrotic damage, so it's not like I could say, oh, I just hit him with the butt of my sword to incapacitate.
No, there's more going on than you understand.
Okay.
And that's the first thing you realize when you hit the ground. Because when you get down there, you realize this person hasn't been a person properly in a little while.
Okay.
You realize there is something fundamentally wrong with this body that you have just put down. They're not undead. That's not quite right. Because they were definitely alive, but there was something missing. You try and stabilize them. You try and like clear out that rot that you have put in. But it's sinking in. It is taking to this body like water. And you realize something. That you've seen something not dissimilar to this before.
Sure have.
Many, many years ago. Right before that last mission with Luca and Sterling.
Shit. Oh, fuck. I would like to cry a little bit.
Yeah.
And roll the body to the side. Arnold, get the kid. Get the kid, please. Arnold, if we can move a rock or two.
Some help down here. A couple more scribes and stewards come down. It looks like things have cleared up over at Town Hall, and you even get a builder down there, or a crafter down there as well. So they are able to help kind of mend and stabilize things long enough to get this kid, looks to be a human, probably about 11 or 12, out, eyes covered so they do not see the utter desecration of their home.
Arnold, take care of the kid. Go and get out.
Yeah, you got it.
Cecil will not go upstairs.
Uh-huh.
Cecil stays down. Arnold, I need Luca down here as soon as they can. I'm sure Arnold is seeing some of this, and Cecil's not a normal guy anyway, but right. Cecil is a very good actor and a very good performer, and Cecil is having a hard time keeping his cool.
Luca, after a time, Luca runs down the stairs. Cecil!
It's back.
How'd they do it?
I don't know.
We didn't even know what that thing was. We spent so long.
I don't know. Luca, this is not good. But it's here.
I know. We found our camp. Arabin and I. There's no indication of where they came from or how they managed it.
Did you find it?
No. Of course not.
Did you find any of them?
Some rear guard.
Okay.
But it was the same thing like last time. They're babbling. Nothing. No intelligence.
Nothing left inside at all.
Whoever it is, they haven't learned how to focus it yet.
It's been decades.
Once they learn how to focus it, that's going to be... I know.
Luca, I'm really hoping our problems are connected, and I don't think they are.
I gotta tell Sterling.
Yeah, you've better fucking tell Sterling.
No, I'm already writing the letter.
Yes.
I'll send it out tonight. I'll send somebody back to the seat.
Yeah, yes. I want the body.
Yeah. No, Harper found another body too. Farmer took one out. Lost his life in the process, but pitchfork right in the chest.
I've got some tests to run.
Yeah. I think Harper's got a couple thoughts too. How much we telling him?
Honestly, Luca, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I'll leave it to you then. Make the call. You bring him up to speed if you want.
God damn it. It's fine. It'll all be fine. And we'll figure it out because we always do. It'll always be fine. And we solve it. We find a way to solve it. And we always do. It'll be fine. And Cecil gets their cool back under him. Right, Luca. Seems the past can't stay in the past, apparently.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
His eyebrows are like half raised. It's been a while since you've lost your cool around Luca.
We just had a whole thing, Luca.
I know. I didn't say anything.
Right, and I appreciate it. It's,
We'll let it be. Look.
I was real happy at a desk, Luca.
Look, I've got a bad feeling about this. I'm telling Sterling, and honestly, I'm gonna keep one or two of our folk posted up around the seat anyways.
We just need to know. Do it. Yeah, we need to know. Boy. Well, guess we know what we're tracking down next. Any clear path through the woods there? Do we know where they went?
Not a clue.
Damn.
Whoever had it, left with it. If this was an experimental run. What if it's another one? I don't know which is worse. Like, presumably the original was destroyed.
Can't imagine anything surviving that, but something stupid magical, who knows?
Right.
I'd almost rather it was a pretender or copycat because they don't know what they're doing.
And it could be. Well, it can't be. Like, we're talking in circles.
Yes, we are.
We'll figure it out. We always have.
We always will. Don't really have a choice now, do we?
Till the eminence takes us.
No one else is going to do it.
Well, maybe we'll get the Kingsguard on it this time. You see, there is so much snark in Luca's voice. You haven't seen him that catty in a very long time.
Oh, Sterling really got to you, didn't he?
It's fine when people step away. I'd appreciate it if they'd keep their head out of their asses when they do.
Well, You know, Sterling is good at only one thing, and that is having his head firmly planted up his own ass.
Also just very good with a dagger.
Scary good with a dagger, yes. Someone in his position should not be able to do the things he does. I don't know if that's...
I don't know if he can do it anymore.
I don't want to find out.
Nope.
That is a different set of problems.
Okay.
All right. Did we find any survivors? I've been down here.
Couple. We're going to move faster. Getting out of here, though. We're going to take the survivors back to Bering. I'm sending somebody up tonight, and we'll go from there.
Good. That's not much more we can do on the road. I'd like to get back.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Let's go. And the two of you exit this burnt and shattered building, leaving the corpse behind for the time being. You return to the ruined streets and head to the survivors' camp. And we'll call it there.
Sounds good.
Thank you for joining us here on Another Path. You can find our website and merch store at anotherpathpodcast.com, on Twitter at anotherpathpod, and our network at ghostlightmedia.net. You can support our efforts by donating over at patreon.com/ghostlightmedia, or by giving us a rating and review over on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcatcher will let you. You can find me on Twitter at TQLoudly, Ryan at RyanRolled20. You can also find me on TikTok at TQLoudly. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a new episode, and until then, remember that when things get tough, maybe it's time to call in a friend. Maybe even a special guest next week. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.